virgin and I am a church family member, and I do believe my pastor got me pregnant.
Ms. Sanchez, how did you two meet?
Well, I would, as now, like I've been very close to my church, and I met him at church. He does programs. We have programs in church after the mass, and I felt very close to him as soon as I met him.
How long have you been attending this church? And then when did you two actually start? Did you guys start dating?
It's been about 2.5 years, 3 years.
2.5 to 3 years.
And we really weren't like together like that.
So you weren't together in a relationship, in a monogamous relationship?
It didn't really happen like that. I felt like I could trust him, and he make me feel like safe and make me feel like I was important, and I believe he had feelings for me and loved me, and it all started with that.
Okay, well, Father Henry, can you tell me a little bit about how you two met as far as the church in this relationship?
I remember when she first started in our church, and I would see her, and I talk, and we have several different Sunday morning services before Mass, and she was involved in like her age group and young single people. She was in one of those groups, and I would talk to them there, and then I would see her at Mass, and she reached out to me saying that she would like to have some private counseling, and that she was having some problems. As her life was changing, she was having some hard times getting used to the new lifestyle that she was going into, and her rough family life that she was having that had a lot of stress and a lot of things that was tough for her being brought up in a kind of a harsh manner.
Okay.
And,
so were you attracted to Ms. Sanchez like initially, or did this develop over time? How did you two, as far as like dating?
well, it wasn't really an attraction thing. She's a member of my flock, and she was in need, and my job is to help her work through her stresses and whatever's pulling her down.
So what would she tell you when she was going through her stresses? What would be pulling her down, and what would you be helping her with?
Well, she had a lot of problems with her family, and you know, she was trying, and we were trying to work through. You can love them and you can honor them, but maybe you need to stay away from them because they're a bad influence. And we worked out those kind of things, and maybe, you know, you're doing too much for them because they're not giving you anything back, and that's not fair to you. And that's the kind of things that we were working on with her.
Okay, well, Ms. Sanchez, so what would you say Father Henry was helping you out with your family issues?
Yes, Your Honor. As you know, I'm an immigrant, and I felt alone in this country, and I just, I never really had a boyfriend or any interpersonal relationships, and he was the only one that I felt like a connection or like something close. And
was this more of like a romantic connection, or what type of connection? Is platonic? Like,
I just felt like he just wanted to be with me, and he wanted to like be there for me. And
so what would he do to show that he wanted to be with you in the way that you're describing?
well, he said that he would like protect me and take care of me, and he told me that, you know, it was time for me to just learn some stuff. And
Learn what type of stuff? What are we talking about?
well, Your Honor, I was a virgin before I met Father Henry, and
So are you telling me that he was your first?
yeah, we spent a lot of time together, and I don't think he's a bad person. I just felt like he allured me into.
He allured you.
I feel like I never really had a life. I never been with a man, and I feel like the time that he spent next to me by like ourselves, like he just started to like. I thought he had feelings for me at first, but after like.
So Miss,
I feel like he started to groom me into just.
he groomed you. You're saying that he. Okay, so where would this?
I'm
all
not
take-
trying to make any accusations, Your Honor. I just feel like a father, he should be taking care of his business, and that's why I'm here for, because.
So you saw him as a protector. You saw him as a provider, as far as for you emotionally, it seems like, and romantically. Okay, so Father Henry, I have a question for you. So when you both would get together, where would this be at? Would this be inside the church? Would this be outside the church, as far as what Ms. Sanchez was saying?
We never met in a social atmosphere ever. It was always, it was a church thing. It was always in my office, and usually, which is very busy. There's other offices in there. And also, we do have some counseling areas, and in church, and like I said, in the different Sunday school classes that we have. But it was all part of the daily activities of my flock.
Okay, so you're saying that you didn't have any romantic interest in Ms. Sanchez at all?
That's not what I'm there for, no ma'am.
Okay, so you would meet alone in the office?
Yes, but I have assistants that come and go. I make a big point to never lock my door. So, but yeah, there's no need for that, you know.
Ms. Sanchez, did you feel that Father Henry was expressing any form of romantic interest in you?
I cannot think anything. I just know what happened, and he would just start to like be very physical with me, and like.
Okay, so physical, what do you mean by physical? Because you both have two separate stories and it's not adding up, so I don't know who's telling the truth.
He would just start like, you know, by grabbing my hands and like touch my like shoulder.
And how would that make you feel?
Start like grabbing my leg, and I just thought like he wanted more than just giving me an advice. And I didn't know what to think. I never been with a guy before. I thought that he meant good with that. Like, I am a very religious person, and I take these things very seriously, Your Honor.
So Ms. Sanchez, why do you think that Father Henry is the father of your child?
Because I never been with somebody else, and we did have intimacy.
In the office area after church?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
His literal words were, "I'm gonna show you things that you never seen before."
That's what he said. So Father Henry, why do you think that you're not the father of this child?
Because I have never had any kind of relationship like that other than counseling.
Okay, so you're saying that you've never been intimate with Ms. Sanchez at all?
No,
because she's claiming that you have touched her hands, you have touched her shoulders during, while she was in your office, during church. So is that accurate at all? Has
No,
that
ma'am.
ever happened?
Never happened.
So Ms. Sanchez, did Father Henry ever make any promises to you?
He said that he will be a provider to me and he will take care of me. He said that because of his title and his job, he had to, you know, be a little discreet to start, but eventually he would like make the commitment to me, and I did believe him.
Okay, so how old is your child, Ms. Sanchez?
2 years.
2 years old? So Ms. Sanchez, since your child is 2 years old, did you tell Pastor Henry about this and tell him that I believe that you are the father of my child?
I've been trying to communicate with him, but I haven't have any response. He left my community church ever since, and went
He
to
left
the
the
run.
church?
Yeah, he went for the run, and this is why I'm here, Your Honor, because I need him to assume his responsibilities with my son.
Okay. Father Henry, did you actually leave the church once you found out that Ms. Sanchez contacted you and believes that you are the father of her child?
No, I was transferred to a different parish.
You were transferred.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when she did contact you, did you believe her that this was her child? Was she seeing anybody else, or?
Your Honor, I had no reason to believe her because I had no contact sexually with her, and there was no reason to believe because it's not true. The main problem is, I worked with her, and I can't tell you what all she talked to me in a private session because.
So are you telling me that you can't tell me what her confessions are, or?
Well, it's basically, she was having some really dark thoughts about things that she was wanting to do, and I told her that she has to wait for marriage for those kind of things, those urges, those bodily functions that we go through. And I explained to her, she had to trust through God and work those out.
Okay, so it seems like it's all about temptation. So you were trying to help her out with understanding fleshly temptation. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so Ms. Sanchez, based on what Father Henry is saying, is this true?
I wanted clarity, and I wanted to know what a good wife does, but I didn't mean to have interpersonal, physical, sexual behavior, with him.
You didn't want to have that with him?
I did, that was not what I wanted. I wanted some enlightenment. I wanted, from my religious perspective, to know what a good wife does. I've never been with a man, so I wanted to being educated, but I never requested or gave my consentment to Father Henry.
Wait. Okay, Ms. Sanchez, did you consent with Father Henry with this intimate relationship?
I did consent, and I did want that to happen.
So you wanted it to happen?
He made me fall in love with him. He made me think that he loved me and took care of me.
Okay, so because you were attracted to him, not only mentally, but it seemed like you were attracted to him physically, that it turned into this.
I was not attracted to him, physically, but...
You weren't?
No.
But you're claiming that Father Henry is the father of your child.
The way that he would, talk to me and, touch me, I just couldn't help myself. He would just, tell me that if I wanted to be a good wife, there was some things I had to learn in life.
Father Henry, what are you prepared to do if the results say that you are the father of this child?
Your Honor, I don't want to be flippant about this, but there's no chance that I'm going to be the father in this because there was nothing that happened with this lady here.
Well, Ms. Sanchez, what are you prepared to do if Father Henry is not the father of your child?
He is the father. I'm telling you, Your Honor. He is the father.
So you have no doubts at all? And you've not been with anybody else? You've only been with
I'm
one
very
person.
religious, but I don't think miracles happen that way, Your Honor.
Well, we have the results here of the DNA diagnostics, and it reads as follows. It is determined by this court that Father Henry, you are the father.
Oh my God.
Ms. Sanchez, how do you feel about the results?
I as I said, Your Honor, I'm a very religious person, and there is no space for me in my life for lies, and I just want him to be a good father, not just for the church, but for his own son.
Okay, and then Father Henry, how do you feel about the results today?
I'm just, I don't really have anything to say at all.
Are you ready to be a father? Not just of the church, but of this child?
It's not anything I'm willing to talk about right now.
Well, I wish nothing but the best for both you, Ms. Sanchez, and Father Henry. This case is dismissed.
So what do you guys think about things?
Well, I'm just really happy. Hopefully we can work things out and just be together.
I got a lot of thinking to do, and we'll see.